Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Soapland, the official gathering place of newbies, novices, and OG diehard fans of the golden age of primetime. I'm your host, Jet, still viewing and reviewing the most exciting television program in primetime, at least for the year 1985, 1984, I think. So whether you're new to this or true to this, sit back and enjoy. Tell the kids it's time to play outside or out of sight. Tell babe no questions, suggestions, or concerns for the next 25 to 45 minutes. Everyone else in earshot, you can be cool, quiet, or kicked all the way out because we are watching our stories. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is Soapland. Hello, gorgeous. Welcome back to another fun-filled edition of Soap Lore. I hope your day is shaping up beautifully. You know mine is. Now that we're back together, about to jump into our final premiere. Still feels funny to say that, but you know what? It's new to a lot of us out here, and it probably feels new to you even if you are an OG. It's probably been a minute. We're diving into Dynasty. I'm already excited about this because season 4 was so much fun. They really revved it up. It was funnier. It was shinier. It was prettier. So I'm walking into season 5 with a complete open mind. I'm not going to try to guess. I'm not going to try to overanalyze. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy this like it's the year of our Lord 1984 or 5. Let me go on and figure that out so I can stop stutter stepping over it. I vaguely remember saying last season, or perhaps it was on season 3, that Dynasty is still trying to recoup some of that wardrobe money. Tripping. On Amazon, I just saw that it is $69.95 for HD for season 5. Not with a straight face, Amazon. No, you didn't. I don't even know how I feel about HD when it comes to older shows. Do you have to watch things in HD? I'm not even sure I fully noticed after the first, 2 or 3 minutes. It's not even something I'm thinking about, but I don't mind it being a little fuzzy. I am going to crack open a mocktail. I picked this one up today. It's called Mingle. Some sort of cranberry Cosmo. I don't think I've ever had a real Cosmo, but I'm going to enjoy this one here. You go ahead and grab yourself something bubbly and bright. Looks like we're jumping right in today. Season 5, episode 1, called Disappearance. I need to backtrack just a little bit. I got lightly drugged by 3 different individuals for calling Pastor Pretty Boy allegedly on Falcon Crest goofy. Let the record reflect. Thanks for pointing it out, guys. Listen, let me be very clear. I'm giving a raw, real reaction. This is literally my first time seeing this. I will say, I noticed that there was a guy in the credits. I thought he had a beard. I don't know what else. I'm paying attention, but I'm not paying attention. But when they showed the kid at the end of that episode, I definitely didn't think it was a dude at the beginning of the show. And I certainly didn't think he was as fine as he is IRL. If I do say so myself, he looks better today than he did then. Let me get this kid's name so I don't disrespect him further. Mr. Ken Olin, I think is his name. Listen, last shot, do me a favor. Y'all go back and watch it. Watch that last shot when he kind of yucks over his shoulder. Come on now. Mind you, this is my first impression of him. It was just a weird shot. I don't know why they chose to do this to this man. I haven't even heard him talk yet. I hadn't watched Falcon Crest episode 2 yet. But it occurred to me, everybody on the show, all the dudes are even hotter. Even Richard and all his sort of kooky weirdness, he's still very attractive. Chase, I don't even have to, y'all already know how I feel about Chase. That's no secret. Lorenzo Lamas has literally never looked better. Opening scene with his sunglasses on. He's wearing a butter yellow sweater. Smoking hot. Dare I say it, Cole is, I think he's growing up. So he looks older to me. I find that if you're too baby faced, I just can't take you that seriously. I mean, obviously, he's handsome, but he looks better the older he gets. I just saw a photo of him too. This gentleman here, he kind of reminds me of, I had somebody in my mind the other day. The picture of him a little bit older, he's like in a white long sleeve shirt. He looks like a really handsome Mark Ruffalo. He's got long hair. His beard is totally gray. Super duper good looking. But in his younger days, he looks a whole lot like one of those dudes from Color Me Bad. I can't remember his name. Super good looking. Kind of looks like he could be John Hamm's nephew or something as well. But I got pulled aside parasocially by 3 different people. Like, hey, you watch your mouth. I think besides Lorenzo Lamas, I don't think that's happened very many other times. But I get it. If I can admit, the other photos I've seen, he looks great. That last shot, I got to stand 10 toes down. They did him dirty. He looks mad goofy. But speaking of Falcon Crest would have been shot 84, airing 85. So it would have been right up against Dynasty, I'm sure. But Dallas and Knots Landing are still in like 1982. And if you do the math for Dallas, this math ain't mathing for me. So I went back and I looked, and of course, season 1 was super duper short. A lot of cases, they don't even really acknowledge it as season 1. They just kind of combine season 1 and season 2. That would have been 1978. Season 3 is 1979. Season 4, 1981. I think I knew this when Television of Yore was on, Erica was on. She mentioned that the whole Who Shot JR thing, they had been on hiatus for about a year or so. So that makes sense that with it being that time frame spread out a little bit more, 1981. So that could possibly mean this version of Dynasty that we're about to watch would have been going up against season 9? That seems crazy to me that it could even be 8 or 9 at that point. But matters none, we need to talk about Dynasty. I'm ready to jump in, see if they free my girl Alexis, and see who else joins the cast this season. I really enjoy the bit players. I love the addition of Tracy, even though she seems to be gone at the end of the last season. Love Kirby. I think Kirby came in season 3 though, right? Dexter. Love him. Love him. I hope he never leaves the show. So glad Bad Girl Sammy Jo actually came back. I had all but forgotten about my girl. And then we got Miss Blanche Deveraux's cousin, whose first name escapes me, showing up in a buzzer beater appearance talking about she's a Carrington. Let's get to the bottom of that. Season 5, episode 1, The Disappearance. Oh, shit. Wait a minute. Y'all didn't tell me nothing. Okay. I'm going to get excited. God, I wish my grandma was still alive. Rest in power, my love. Oh, my God. I didn't know Billy Dee Williams was on here. Okay, y'all. Okay. Well, there you go. Obviously, it's gonna be the best show. Y'all got Billy Dee Colt 45 Williams to be on Dynasty. How did I not know that? I have never in my life heard that, y'all. I'm sorry if you can hear dogs and stuff barking. I got tired of waiting for it to be quiet. I'm just gonna do what I need to do. I didn't know Billy Dee was on here. Okay, I decided to watch the credits because I've looked at everybody else's. I figured why not check this one out? Not Billy Dee. Oh, I'm excited now. Seems like they added a few more notes to the entrance also. The theme song, a few more pieces of landmark, a few more landmarks in the B-roll. Nice. Show opens with a baby blue Mercedes crunched up against some sort of pole, tree, something. Cops, ambulance scattered about. Jeff is in his Mercedes. You can tell some time has passed because Jeff is hotter for some reason. He looks like he's been working out or something. He looks a little bit different. Oh, I remember now. So he was chasing Fallon, but he got cut off by the by the construction in the middle of the night on a rainy night. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, by the time he catches up, the ambulance is already there. He runs over. He yells, Fallon, Fallon, taps a kid on the shoulder, turns him around. Real handsome black paramedic. I'm liking immediately that clearly y'all are adding more hot blacks to the show, and I'm here for it. I love it. This kid is super cute. But unfortunately, he said, oh, I'm sorry, sir. This is not a broad. This is a dude. heavy-set truck driver sits up and he's like, yeah, I was knocked out or whatever. So the story is truck driver swerves to avoid Fallon in the car. He's knocked unconscious. By the time the paramedics and all that get there, he don't even know what happened. He's just like, man, I don't know. I was driving, and the next thing I know, I woke up, I'm here. Jeff is obviously frantic, explaining to the cops, she's my wife. Well, she's my ex-wife, about to be my new wife again. And the cop's like, well, I mean, not tonight. She's not. I don't know how she walked away from this, but she's gone. You know, if I'm going to believe that bridal wear gives you the sort of migraine that makes you jump into an automobile and drive into oncoming traffic in torrential rain, and that you're able to have these episodes as you drive, you're almost drunk, you're able to swerve, why wouldn't I believe? Of course you crashed your car, and of course you walked away completely unscathed in the middle of the night with nothing on you other than, I mean, not a wedding dress. I don't know what she put on, but okay. Yeah, so Fallon has scrammed. So I wonder if the actress is like, y'all know what? Figure it out. I'm not coming back. Gosh, we're right away. Clean up on aisle. This isn't necessarily a clean up on aisle 5, but I love the Dynasty. If they're not going to do nothing else, they're going to give you a little bit of revisionist history. Blake is worried sick. He's worried so sick that he had to go upstairs and take to bed, put on a silk robe and silk PJs while Krystal and her hideous lavender bridesmaid nightmare dress escorted each and every guest out of the door. Y'all got to go. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get out of here. He's talking about how brave, he being Blake, how brave Fallon has always been, so fearless. Something must have frightened her. He talking about, I remember the first day of kindergarten, I dropped her off at 6 years old. She looked over her shoulders and waved goodbye to me. She wasn't afraid of all. I'm like, she wasn't afraid, because as many nurses as I see raising her kid, you want me to believe that you actually raised that girl. She probably didn't even know him till she was like 12. You know how that goes. I've seen the Paris Hilton documentary. Thank you very much. I am so serious when I say that when I finish these fantastic shows, I am going to immerse myself in every piece of literature I can find. I need to know what the writers were thinking at the beginning of season 5. So, right off the bat, I can tell Stephen is going to be insufferable this season. Straight away, he comes down to the courthouse where Dex is patiently waiting for the judge in his chambers, blah, 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 trying to get Alexis a bail hearing. Night of incident. Stephen comes in. Dex, you can leave now. It's under control. Dex is like, yeah, it definitely is under control because I took control and I got my lawyer in here to make sure your mom gets this bail hearing. Stephen then starts acting like a child. How dare you? Who gave you the authority? And Dex and I are on the same page tonight. He says, Stephen, I thought you were mature enough to put your mother's needs first. You would rather your mom sit in jail and wait for you, or would you rather for her to be out and to be free? Are you not concerned with your mother's welfare? Here's the thing. Alexis is quickly escorted into the courtroom. Of course, she acting up immediately. She's annoyed. She's like, these women are cussing me out. They stink. It smells like pee. There's no way I'm going back in there in this fly dress. You can just forget it. Get me out of here. The judge is like, please have a seat. Apparently the judge is annoyed because he was about to go home and have a sandwich when all this riffraff comes pouring in. So now he's got to stay late and do da 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 da. So naturally he don't want to hear any lip. This is where my question, the writing comes into question for me. Bail as set for $2 million. If I understand that correctly, you only have to come up with like 10%, but let's say she has to come up with the full $2 million, and I misunderstood. These are billionaires. Alexis is now stressed. Oh my gosh, can you come up with the money? Yeah. Yeah. Why is this even a question? Why is this? Okay. I understand you need to build drama, you need to build some intensity, but you're not going to tell me that Elon Musk is in jail and he's worried about a $2 million check. Not even a little bit. But I guess we need to build the tension between she and Dexter. I know he wasn't going to leave her in there long. Out of all the shows, Dynasty always feels the most scattered to me. Do you guys agree? Like, if you think about the other ones, there's definitely a beginning, middle, and end. You can always see the through line. I really do think Dynasty, I almost said Dominoes. Dynasty maybe has 6 or 7 writers. They all write a different scenario on a card, shuffle the cards, and then just lay them out. I'm like, okay, make it make sense. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. In this case, time will tell. I'm going to try to chill till about the 25-minute mark and see what happens. Oh, before we go, they added yet another hot black. We got a black lawyer. Listen, guys. If you know if you've ever been token, you know how they do tokens on TV. It's like, okay, this season they realize, oh yeah, how do we make these other people blend in? We're gonna sprinkle in a few more hot blacks, of course, because this is a soap opera. Everybody's gonna be good looking. But hot black lawyer's like, yeah, this lady probably pushed this kid off the side of a mountain, or excuse me, the side of a building. Dex's lawyer's like, there's no witness, there's no evidence. This is an egregious charge. I fully agree with Dex's lawyer. There is zero evidence to implicate her. They didn't even say. It made me wonder how, I mean, besides the element of surprise, besides it being the finale, besides them needing something to get them to the cliffhanger, they didn't say anything. It wasn't even like, oh, we found your fingerprints on the glass that he was whatever. Nothing other than he cashed a check 2-3 days before he died. It has there's no evidence whatsoever. I would have thought that they would have brought up something, but they've yet to tie anything to her. The judge is annoyed and he's like, it's late, and if the cops said you did it, they had a reason to say it. Come on now. Your bail is set for $2 million because you probably did it. Wow. Baby Blake is not a baby. He's like 4 years old with a My Buddy haircut and Oshkosh Bagosh outfits on. That's always kind of interesting on these shows. You do need to speed up the babies. I get that. So now he's talking, and he went from being a toddler last night to a kindergartner this morning. He wants to know where his mom is. No one knows. Jeff came in the night previous. Blake was all up and down his back. Where's my daughter? She must be hurt. Did you go here? Did you go there? Jeff's like, what do you think I've been doing for the last 5 hours? Obviously, I went to the hospital, talked to the police, we talked to everyone. She's just gone. We don't know where. She doesn't appear to be hurt, but she also doesn't appear to be safe. Everyone's upset. The Carringtons and the Colbys are deflated. And baby Blake is 6'2" and talking. They're so deflated and they're so devastated that Jeff decides he's going to put out $100,000 reward for any information leading to the capture or I guess it wouldn't be capture, would it? The location of Fallon, Carrington, Colby Co. Blake's pride jumps in and, yeah, let me put up some of the money. Jeff's like, nah, man, I need real money, not monopoly money. I know you ain't got no money like that, but don't worry about it. You know, we family. I'll take care of it. Of course, Alexis's money ain't funny, so she go ahead and she doubles it. You know that just hurts Blake's feelings even more. Not gonna lie, it's a little bit of a drag. Everybody's really down. I have to put my feelings for Fallon aside. And it's not, you know how I feel. We don't need to rehash all that. They're awfully depressed. Very heavy about 20 minutes into the show. Not only is Alexis's money long, her faith in her son, not Stephen, is very strong. She pulls Adam aside in her office and says, look at me, son, do you think that I killed Mark Jennings? I want you to tell me the truth. Now he hesitates. He's kind of looking her up and down like, I mean, what do you want me to say? He eventually says no. And she's like, you hesitated. I'm not even mad at you though, because a good lawyer would. See, that's the thing about you, Adam. Not only are you my son, you got my brains, you got my swag. I want you to assist this lawyer I bought. Best lawyer in the country. I want you also on my defense. And he's like, word? He's completely shocked. She said, yeah, hell yeah, you're my son. He's like, I know, but we ain't exactly been friendly lately on account of her entering and removing and entering and removing him from her will at will. But that's when she tells him, you know, we blood. You come from my loins. You definitely as smart as I am. You're as beautiful as I am. Of course I want you over there. I want you there. You're my baby. Truth is, he's the kid she knows for a fact is as ruthless as her. You don't want to put one of them other flakes on the stand. Fallon's running around. Steven is just super bratty. Yeah, Adam is kind of a no-brainer. Plus, things go awry. He knows a guy who knows a guy who can get him a little paint, make all your problems go bye-bye. Adam, of course, accepts on one condition. He wants the tea. I want to know all about you and Burt Reynolds' stash, Mark Jennings, top to bottom, which honestly has nothing to do with nothing. He was drunk and he fell, or that guy she insulted pushed him. I don't see. Do y'all notice, now that I'm saying this out loud, every season of Dynasty starts out with somebody either in court, except with obviously the first season, they didn't have an opportunity to go to court yet, but they're always dragging a woman on the stand and sifting through her sex life. Can we not, please? Unless we have to. This is kind of random, but have you ever gone with someone to like their old neighborhood or their old school, with a parent, cousin, significant other? They show you around their hometown. This is where I got my first kiss. This is where I learned to ride a bike, blah, blah, blah. Those moments are amazing. It's so much fun. And I feel like it brings you so close to someone when you can share those moments. It's nostalgia by proxy. It's a window into a person you cared about past. You kind of see what this is the thing that built them. This home or this school or this restaurant is part of the reason they are the way they are, for better or for worse. If they care enough about you to allow you in that space, it's a wonderful, vulnerable moment. Blake and Krystal getting their Bentley or Mercedes or whatever it is. I don't drive fancy cars, so I don't really know. And they drive to the outskirts of Denver to one of the Denver Carrington oil sites, one of the rigs, only to find a hand-painted sign that says "for sale" on said rig gate. Blake steps out and he's looking over it, and Krystal says, "I know where we're at, Blake. This is Denver Carrington 1. He's amazed that this woman he has been deeply intimate with for several years at this point, he's amazed that she knows that. She must really care about him. Or maybe she was his secretary or something at one time, and also she can read. Her being a secretary would allude to her being able to read, but that's beside the point. Blake is touched until he's not. He says, "Yo, this is where it all started and now it's all gone." Krystal says, "No, baby, no. You're looking at this all wrong. The money is gone. The man is still here. The money may be gone, but the technology is still here. The man who made this happen is still here. And baby, that's all that matters." He looks over at her and her crystal blue eyes, her coiffed hair, and her fly coat that he's probably going to have to ask her to return at some point today. But he sees a woman with options. And he says, "Krystal, I know a lot about you, but I don't know everything. Are you the type of broad that sticks around with someone like me out of pity?" And she said, "Wait, did pity? No, baby, I'm here because I love you. I'm here because I want to be with you. Didn't you hear what I said?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just insecure. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what I was thinking. We're at my first rig and now it's not my first, a lot of feelings going on, but it means the world to me that you trust me and believe in me." That's beautiful for them. Sneak peek into their hearts. I question this just a little bit though. She believes that you have the ability to gain this millions again. She is wise enough to deduce that, listen, if you pulled yourself up by the bootstraps once and became a millionaire, I have no reason to believe you can't do it again. Plus, she's got several $1,000s worth of clothes and jewelry just in case this thing goes south. So we get to see Miss Diane Carroll's apartment. Or no, maybe she's still at La Mirage. I forgot. Well, I don't know. Huh. Either way, it's a lavender room. Absolutely love the color of it. It has a wet bar. It has this well-lit shelf with all these crystal martini glasses and champagne glasses. And she loves an asymmetrical number. I feel like every outfit she's had on since we've seen her 2 episodes ago has been asymmetrical in some way. And this is no exception. She's got on like this peach silk pajama number. Dynasty's pajama budget is wild. But it's like God, I don't know if I've ever seen this color combination in a room. I'm sure I have at some point, but lavender and like it's not a moss green. It's deeper. Maybe it's sage. Lavender and sage. I can't really make up my mind and decide whether or not I like it. It looks weird, but then it's like right when you fix your mouth to say that, it's like, but I kind of get it. Kind of. It's very 80s nonetheless. Oh, Lord, yes. She hears a rat-a-tat-tat on the door, opens it, and it's Billy Dee Williams, aka Brady. She's happy to see it. Oh, look at my gorgeous man. Yeah, he is. Lord, he's fine. Now, he's another person who's been in my life for years. I remember him in several movies. I remember the movie Mahogany. Loved it. Loved him in Lady Sings the Blues. That's actually my favorite Diana Ross movie. Well, I don't know. It's a close. That and Mahogany are really good, but there was a scene in Mahogany where it's towards the end. She's dating that photographer. I haven't seen it in many years, guys, so forgive me if I'm leaving out pieces, but she'd become this model, right? Mahogany becomes this model, and she is in the car with this photographer, and I can't remember if they had actually hooked up or not, but it seems like they were on a date or something, and he wants to like take pictures of her while they're driving, and she starts like moving her head around. She scared the hell out of me. She reminded me of Large Marge on Pee Wee's Big Adventure or Big Top, Under the Big Top, whatever. Whatever the Pee Wee Herman movie is, where he hitches a ride from Large Marge and she turns and she looks at him and it does that weird, that Beetlejuice stuff. It looks like that. So every time I see him, I kind of think of Diana Ross and that. Now, I've never quite been able to look at her the same way, but I have never had a difficult time looking at him. Even as a little girl, I was like, that's fine. That's fine right there. I know that. I also know he plays the exact same person in every single movie. Speaking of the devil, is he supposed to be Barry Gordy? Look at me hanging on his every word. So it's pretty clear that she's into him, right? There's no doubt about that. But it's also clear that she's playing him a little bit. Oh, I'm just admiring you. I'm so in love with you. Woo, woo, woo. He want to know why she didn't go meet him in LA 3 days ago. She says, oh, it's so beautiful here. I love it here. Denver is awesome. He's like, all this construction. Womp womp. My name is Brady Lloyd, and I've been married to you, Mrs. Lloyd, for far too long. What are you up to? And she's like, okay, I get it. It's business. He's frustrated by that. She's like, don't me. I'm not in New York. I'm not trying to buy this or that. I'm doing business here. It's just a little business. Like, I'm not trying to ice you out. Well, he tells us, the audience, Madam, in case you forgot, I'm the same guy who squeezed talent out of these kids and turned them into a multi-billion-dollar recording group. Okay. Is this not the second time he's played Barry? Okay, I know what I'm thinking. One of the movies that was on repeat in my house growing up, because my mom loved Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5, was the Jackson American Dream. We had it recorded on VHS. I've seen that movie no less than 100 times. He was Barry Gordy in that movie. That would have, I don't know what that would have been like, 95, 96. I'm not sure. He plays him 10 years later. I guess that's what he's insinuating. That's who he is right now. I get you. Okay. So y'all got money on top of money. I see. Dominique is her name. I remember now. Dominique is another Lily Mae. She's talking to Barry Gordy, aka Brady Lloyd, aka Billy Dee Colt 45 Williams, saying, listen, baby, I think I might want to buy this hotel. I want to buy property in Denver. So in the morning, I want you to go talk to this girl, Claudia V. Stallion. I need you to ask her if I can perform here at the hotel. And he's like, girl, you must be crazy. You think I'm crazy. She says to him, listen, baby, I need to know my American audience. What better place than Denver, frickin' Colorado, to break into the Muzak business? The Muzak, not music, because that'll be elevator music in Denver. No shade. I just didn't know Denver had it like that. Wow. She's clearly running game. I don't know what game, but she is. She reminds me so much of Alexis. There, yeah, that's who it is. She's giving that very seductive. I'm almost convinced she's definitely got another man on the side. She's like, baby, I haven't seen you in 2 weeks. Please go downstairs and have them let me have a little resonancy here. She's already been singing though. Okay. Okay, hold on. Let's talk about this, Jet. Let's consider something. Is this season going to be a little bit more musical? I don't mind a good musical. As a matter of fact, I invite a musical number in the middle of things that don't make sense, preferably. I wonder how many A and B selections she's going to give us this season. She does have a baby grand piano in her room. Yeah. I don't know what she's playing him, but I can tell she's playing him for sure. Also, I need to note my prejudice here. I don't think their ooey gooey, oh, I'm so into you is gross. I know why I don't think it is because I think Billy Dee Williams is hot. I don't think it's hard. It's not hard for me to believe that. But I don't buy that Krystal's into Blake, even though I find Blake to be a handsome man. It's just I don't buy it. Plus, the Carringtons get on my nerves. I got to shake that off. Didn't I just say at the beginning of the show I'm going to go into this with an open mind? I'm going to open it a little bit more. Girl, you just went from the high class, highfalutin world travelers, Billy Dee Williams and his lady, to Krystal and Blake, who are very sophisticated people. Let me go ahead and put that out there. Samantha Jo showed up to breakfast in a leather skirt and a Raggedy Ann top, like a quilted top, eating ham from her hand ham, for breakfast in a house filled with dishes. Matter of fact, I'm looking at dishes on the shelf. Country bumpkin. Isn't there some sort of hillbilly hierarchy that at least deems that you grab a napkin or something? She walking around eating Christmas ham out of the palm of her ashy hands. Lord have mercy. Saying, Adam, can you take me and baby Danny to the park, please? Why don't you not go to your fancy lawyering job today and I'll put my ham hands all over you and the nurse can carry around my baby. Oh my God. Right about the time that Adam turned her down, because, I mean, gross. He's wearing a $3,000 suit. He can't afford to walk in there with grease stains all over it. People aren't going to take him serious. Right about this time, in walks Steven in the coochiest of cutter shorts I've seen in a very long time. He has a nerve to have on a sweatshirt. It's kind of fire, actually. It's a black sweatshirt from Princeton with like red and yellow ribbing around the neck and the arms and the waist. And then his shorts fall a mere 2 inches below that. I've wondered this for many, many years at this point, why shorts suddenly became so long. If men and women were walking around with glorified boxers on, how did we get to gym shorts being past your knees? Steven wants to talk. Sammy Jo doesn't want to talk. So she saunters out of the room with her handful of ham. And Steven was, of course, looking at Adam out the side of his eye like, oh, that was cute. Adam says, listen, no, it's not even like that. I promise you. I'm staying as far away from her as I possibly can. And that's true. After the wedding, she asked Adam if he thought about her late at night when he was in bed and alone. And he's like, I think about you, but we need to focus on your family right now. Why don't you try to work things out with Steven? He legitimately did ask her to do what's best for your son. Because she's talking about how she can't believe she gave him up. And he's like, I know, but look, he's already settled. He's here. I'm sure Steven will be willing to work with you. Why don't you do that? So before Steven can get all deep in his feelings, Adam's like, yo, bro, listen. I know this might not be any of my business, but have you thought about working it out with Samantha? Wouldn't you rather just work it out than drag this through court? Do what's best for your baby? And that's when Steven's like, oh, I mean, yeah, I would like to. It's none of your business. But yes, I would like to. And apparently Samantha thinks she's your business now. He's like, nah, man, it ain't even like that. I'm just saying, I promise you, I'm not even going to cross that line. I just think y'all need to do what you need to do. There's way too much going on in this family. I think he's catching a little bit of what Ray Krebs is catching down in Dallas. He's getting a good hard look at this family he thought was real put together and thought, you know what? I'm actually good. Billings is a beautiful town. I might hop, skip, and jump over there at some point, but nah, I don't know. No. I don't want your leftovers. I can't have a stepson, nephew situation. Absolutely not. He asked if they can just be friends. I hope so this season, because at this point, there's nothing else to drag out. Adam's bothering absolutely no one at this point. Let's just move past it. To my surprise, Steven agrees to be friends. He's like, yeah, I can do that. You know what they say, my enemy's enemy is my friend. And right now, the persona non grata is Dexter. Neither one of the Carrington boys like the fact that Dex is the one who bailed their mother out of jail. They feel like he's uppity. He's all in her business. Never mind the fact that he saved her from jail when they couldn't. They feel a way about it. Steven said, well, first, as soon as I get to work, I'm going to flip through the books. I'm going to pay him back so that he doesn't have a say in what happens from here on out. And Adam's like, yeah, I like that. He calls new Major Domo, not Joseph, but Gerard. He says, oh, Gerard, can I speak to my father? Gerard's like, well, quiet as kept. Gerard is messy, I can tell. Your dad is still asleep. He was up all night pacing up and down the hallway, but you didn't hear from me. He's depressed. There's a kid missing, obviously. Also, Stephen made me very uncomfortable at breakfast. I hope this is pre-workout and he don't have like hot pleather sweat fumes in front of the ham and whatnot. Other people got to come in and eat, and his all that parallel with the food. Adam's like, dang, I mean, it's watching an empire crumble. I mean, I'd probably take to bed too if I just watched billions of dollars crumble into dust. That has to hurt. Steven's like, yeah, but I think it's Fallon. Fallon's gone and all this is happening. That's what's killing him. It's probably a combination of both. I'm sure Fallon is in the forefront, but also his dwindling resources. Although you'd never know it from breakfast. It's quite the spread. Plus, there's like 5 people in the house with jobs. They'll be all right. They'll be fine. He's back. I love a disheveled Blake Carrington. He's upstairs in his PJs. Krystal comes in with a prop tray. You can tell they glued the decanter and all that on it. But she's like, Blake, I know you're going through it, but Claudia needs to know what to do about some of the repairs at La Mirage. I forgot that Blake was footing the bill for La Mirage. Totally forgot about that. Assumed Fallon was doing well enough on her own at this point to have taken over that, but apparently that's not the case. So La Mirage is in that portfolio of things that he needs to liquidate. Things aren't looking good. Claudia needs to know about that. The lawyers have been calling, wanting to know what else he wants to liquidate. The press is calling and he snaps at Krystal. Damn it, Krystal, why are you doing this to me? This ain't Krystal from season 1. She's not going to curl up. She looks at him and she's like, because you need to get your craft together, Blake. That's why. What are you going to tell all these people? And he's like, you know what, you're right. He sucks it up. Tell Claudia to do whatever she thinks she needs to do. Tell the lawyers I'll talk to them in a little bit. And as far as the press goes, you are the director of public relations with absolutely no experience. You tell them whatever you want to tell them. So even as he's going broke, he still gets to delegate responsibility to other people. God bless a wealthy man. So meanwhile, at Colby Co, Stephen is true to his word. He is going through the books, all the QED reports, they call it something else on this, to find out what account he can withdraw the $2 million from to pay back Dexter to get him out of their hair a little bit. I tell you what, Stephen's time away on oil rigs and foreign seas has done him a world of good. He has come back with a brand new face and just a bevy of skills that come in handy time after time after time. He instructs his secretary to bring in the QED books, and he's going through them line by line, each ledger, to see where he can take some money from. He said, don't bother me at all unless somebody calls about my sister. And I don't care. It can be anything, big or small. Let me know if it's about my sister. Otherwise, can't do nothing. Even his wife, Claudia the Stallion, called and she's like, hey, babe, you want to go to a movie? Her voice is a little deeper this season, like she's been smoking cigarettes or something. I like it. He says, unfortunately, babe, I got to see this through. I can't go anywhere tonight. She's like, okay, no biggie. Talk to you later. Side note, real quick, I found out very recently, shout out to Bob for this information. I'm disgusted by it, quite frankly. Kirby and Claudia were hated? Are you mad? Are you serious? Listen. Okay. Y'all already know how I feel about Claudia the Stallion. Been a fan for a very long time. But she is, I can see, if you don't like the tone of her voice, Claudia is to some people what Fallon is to me. It's not that it's her per se, it's the way she's being used. I can totally see that being annoying. But I love her. She's lovable. She's a twice institutionalized woman with her chin up, chest out. She's still out here raising other people's kids, throwing babies off the side of the ceiling. The roof, baby dolls. It was amazing. She had the whole city on edge. She had the whole city on edge in behind a Cabbage Patch doll. Iconic. I don't care what anybody says. And Kirby, quite frankly, Kirby and Adam saved season 3 and 2. 3 at least. Alexis, Kirby, and Adam saved season 3. That's all I'm going to say about it. I just can't believe it. I can't believe it. But anyway, Steven is just as gagged as I am right now because he's talking to his mother. She's thinking something about Fallon happened. This is an emergency meeting he called in the privacy of her penthouse. Steven, what is it? It's Fallon, isn't it? He's like, no, it's not Fallon. Then what the hell is it? Why do you need a meeting? He says, well, I need to talk to you about this $5 million. Tell me why. I have almost forgotten about that. Damn it, Alexis. This is her problem. She's drawn too much money out of her business account. I thought rich people had foreign accounts. Not girl. Come on now. Let me be quiet and see what else happens. Alexis pulled the classic mother thing. Steven's like, Mommy, I was at the office all day, all night, and I found this $5 million error. Only the more I looked into it, it wasn't an error. She knows exactly what he's talking about. She saunters off. She's like, well, I guess I'm going to have to fire someone in bookkeeping, aren't I? And he goes, are you? Do you need to? I don't like this. I don't like the tone of your voice, Steven. I am your mother. Mm-hmm. Famous last words, right? That's how you know a parent is, okay, yeah, you caught me. But I'm your mother. Don't you dare talk to me in that tone of voice, telling me the truth and whatnot. She is so annoyed right now. She's cursing Blake under her breath. I just know it. Why did he send these kids to these fancy schools? When the hell did Steven become an accountant? Steven knows everything. Steven is an accountant, oil hand. He is a rig hand. He is freaking detective. He even went to the bank and found out that she withdrew $5 million. And he knows she didn't buy silk in Hong Kong. She took it to Hong Kong and he thinks she gave it to Rashid Ahmed to sabotage Blake's oil deal. I bet she is kicking herself. Damn it. Shouldn't have kicked Adam out of the wheel and left this boy. She gave him all access to everything. She's, of course, playing dumb. I can't believe you're jumping to these wild conclusions, Steven. This is ridiculous. Steven's like, oh yeah, I'm jumping, Mom. I'm jumping to conclusions. Matter of fact, not only do I think you bought off Rashid Ahmed, I think you killed Mark Jennings because he knew about it. I'm disgusted now. Steven, you've gone too far. She said, Steven, you better take that back. Do you realize what you're saying? He's like, I do realize what I'm saying. She's like, I would never kill Mark Jennings. I had absolutely nothing to do with that now. Okay. I have 5 million reasons to talk to Rashid Ahmed. Need I remind you that Colby Co started the search for that oil in that area? Remember that? Yeah, okay. And maybe I did, maybe I didn't. And plus, your daddy knew I was trying to get in on that deal and he squeezed me out. I just did what he was going to do to me first. That's all I did. If the tables were turned, he would have done the same thing to me. No questions asked. Now, Steven is a little bit torn now. He's like, well, damn. He has a conscience. He's got to wake up every morning and look himself in the mirror. He's got to look at his wife. He's got to look at his baby every day. And he can't do that with this information on his shoulders. She says, darling, what do you plan to do with this information? He said, I'm going to tell my daddy. I'm going to tell him. And she's like, why? It's not going to bring his money back, please. He's like, I'm sorry, I have to. I just can't not do it. No doubt about it, she realized in that moment that she had really effed up. It should have been Steven she left in a cradle in the rain to be kidnapped and take to Billings, not Adam. You give birth to these little ingrates and you bankrupt his dad and all of a sudden you're the devil. Oh, Steven's had a rough day. By the time he gets home, all he wants to do is tell Blake, get it off his chest, get it behind him already. He goes into the study and is surprised when Krystal is there instead of Blake. Where's Dad? He's out riding horses and such. I really need to tell him something. Okay, well, whatever it is, please be gentle. Not too much. He's had a rough week. Steven's like, I'm sorry, I got to tell him. Well, as he goes upstairs to greet his child, he hears a bunch of bickering. Enters the nursery. He sees Sammy Jo in a workout outfit, a leotard, tights, and a headband, cussing out Claudia and the nanny nurse lady, because she wants to she wants to give Danny a super sharp tractor toy. She feels like rough edges are fine. He'll be fine. I grew up in a junkyard. I turned out just fine. Claudia and the nanny are like, this is a dangerous toy. He's not playing with this. She constantly reminds him, but did you give birth to him? Did you give birth to him? That's what I thought. I'm his mother. Give him the dangerous toy immediately. Steven walks in, and it's just like I said, it's been a long day. He ain't got time for this. He kicks out the nanny and he says, take the baby with you, please. Sammy Jo, get the hell out of my house. And she's like, wow, my gay husband is telling it to me straight. And he's like I said, get out of my house. Gay and rich. Okay? Gay and rich, baby. And this is my house. And that's my son. Get out. Get your Walmart sack and your can of Spam or whatever you got going and get on out of my house, ham hands. And she's like, well, damn. She thinks she's going to go downstairs and talk to her auntie. So she goes downstairs. Krystal's coming out of the study. She's like, Auntie Krystal, Steven told me I need to leave this house. I think you need to tell him that I'm not leaving. And Krystal says, shoot. If I had it my way, you would have never made it through the doors. Everybody hates you here. It's time for you to leave. Sammy Jo's like, well, damn. Finally, she does the only thing she knows how to do. She goes to Adam. And she's like, Adam, yeah, I gotta leave. Steven told her she had 1 hour since she liked to talk so slick. Okay, cool. You got 1 hour to get out of my house. My wealthy, well-bred house with my son in my teens. You can get out. But she's like, Adam, can you take me to the airport? And he's like, sure, no problem. She goes, oh, but could you convince the nanny to let the baby Danny go? You know how it is. You were a dad. I know you were only a dad for a few minutes, but you know how hard it is to leave that precious baby, right? I can't stand it. I just need to see him. I want every second I can with him. Adam's like, well, I mean, that's perfectly reasonable. Sure. So flash forward just real quick over at La Mirage. Claudia is talking to the contractors like, well, I had this plan, I had that plan. But when Billy Dee Williams comes a knocking, everybody else got to go. Soon as he opens the door, she's like, y'all gone. Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. Billy Dee said, Claudia, my lady wants to sing. Do you think you can squeeze her in, a week, 2 to 10 days, something like that? She's like, for sure, say less. I heard her sing the other night. She's good. Absolutely. Let me just figure out what time we're going to put her on. Absolutely. They sit down and he starts talking about Claudia, saying her name all sexy. Like you can hear her panties sizzle and evaporate that very moment. She's just kind of just smoldering in her chair as he talks about what a beautiful romantic name, and his mother wanted him to write poems and be a Hallmark card writer. And she goes, well, I mean, you make beautiful music. Ah, yes, I love making music, but it's been a pleasure talking to you, Claudia. She's like, oh, baby, you don't know the half of it, Billy Dee. So he just walking around being fine for no reason and cream with his little just for me perm slick back. I love it. I'm sure he permed his mustache as well. But after that's all settled off, she's like, let me just get with Mr. Carrington. We'll figure out when to put her on. Absolutely. No problem at all. Adam, ever the gentleman, is driving this girl to the airport. Oh, no. I left out a little part. Steven puts on his riding clothes and he rides out to the meadows. He finds his father and he starts singing like Dominique Deveraux or whatever her level, Deveraux, Billy Dee's woman. He's like, Father, guess what? My mother spent $5 million American dollars in Hong Kong to sabotage your entire life. And Blake's like, word? Steven's like, yeah, man, I'm sorry. That's what happened. Blake's like, I mean, I kind of figured, but okay. I figured it was her. I just didn't want to believe it. Okay, bet. Say less, Steven. Thank you so much, baby, for telling me that. I know that was hard. I know what you're losing by telling me that. But thank you for selling your mother up the river, because at the end of the day, I was the one feeding and clothing you all this time. Never mind the fact that I tried to sue you 15 different times. He better keep Steven out of court going on forward. I don't care. Keep it cute, Blake. Blake has a brand new spring in his step. He goes back to the house. He tells Krystal what happened. I'm going to mortgage this place. I'm going to go raise some more money. I'm going to restart everything, baby. Don't you worry about it. I'm going to figure out where Fallon is. I'm back, baby. I'm back. Well, you know who's not back? Sammy Jo and Danny. Adam drives him to the airport. He pulls up front. This is 1980, whatever. So Kids don't need car seats. She's just holding Danny loosey-goosey. She gets out. She goes, oh, crap. I forgot something in the car. Adam, would you go ahead and go in and check me in? He's like, sure. How scandalous. I'm disappointed, Adam. But also, he probably didn't think she was that bold. Like, where's she going to go? Shame on you, Samantha, for taking a man who was kidnapped as a baby to help you kidnap your baby. He's not going to recover from this. Him and his brother have been cool for all of 45 seconds. And then here we go with this. She immediately hails a cab the moment he goes into the airport, gets in the car, tells the baby, listen, man, now I ain't got nothing. My best dress is wearing the suitcases over there, but we're going to make it do what it do. And by my calculations, we're going to have more than enough real soon. She takes this baby from a lap of luxury to layers and layers of poverty, no doubt. Poor baby. Well, he probably don't know no better. All he knows is that nursery and the occasional cousin's birthday party, and every now and again he gets to go to a shotgun wedding and outside a little bit. Damn, Danny, I feel bad for the kid. Also, Danny is not 6 foot tall like baby Blake. Make it make sense. All right, I'm not even tripping. It's a little bit of a downer at the beginning of this episode, but they are wasting no time. Alexis's neck is on the chopping block double. Now it looks like she murdered somebody. Now her own flesh and blood, her own son, the one she didn't let almost drown and get kidnapped, sold her up the river just like that. I can't believe it. But also, it was good TV, right? I'm not mad at it. And I can't believe I didn't know Billy Dee Williams was on here. My grandma loved him. Man. Well, all right, y'all. I think that's it. That's all. I'm not mad at this season opener. We got ourselves a good old-fashioned kidnapping. We got several hot blacks. The hottest of all being the Billy Dee Williams. We got Alexis on the chopping block. You know. Oh, Blake claims he's going to teach her a lesson. I'm going to teach her a lesson she'll never forget. I doubt that very seriously. But I need them to be enemies. I love it. Also, where the hell is Fallon? No, seriously. Where is Fallon? Honestly, seriously. Soap opera land. I don't know. Unless she had somebody pick her up, I suppose. Gosh, and this is before cell phones and credit cards. Surely oh my gosh, she probably has amnesia. I immediately thought of Days of Our Life. She's going to be living in a cabin in the woods. Or like that movie, where the Goldie Hawn one, is it Overboard? The one with Kurt, her sexy husband. I forget, is it Kurt? It's not Kurt Douglas. You know who I'm talking about, the hottie. Oh man, yeah, she's probably some 80-year-old man's new wife, shucking honey in the country, eating blueberries and building houses out of bear dung and what have you. Lord, how the mighty have fallen. All right, y'all, that's it. That's all. We are done with all of our premieres, and it is on and poppin'. Join me next time as we delve deep into another vintage primetime soap opera. In the meantime, in between time, stay hydrated, stay moisturized, mind your own business. Put a leash on your baby at the airport, lest his hillbilly ham hand mama come and snatch him up, and keep all of your drama on TV.